Hello, welcome back. In last video we have switched our platform from PC to Android. So now our platform is changed from PC to Android. So now we are okay with this platform and we will move further. Unfortunately on scene 1 I created this skybox and train, but on scene 1, as we discussed in earlier chapter, that we have to create a UI with start, options and quit menu. So our main game stage will be from scene 3. So I will open scene 3 by clicking here. Now scene 3 is opened and we have to start work on the scene. Similarly, we will create a train. Right click, 3D object, and then train, and then we will give width and height to and length to this train. So we'll move here on setting tab menu, then we will come here in resolution section and we'll give a width to 160 and 300. As I discussed before, that I want to keep this train as small as possible. So this is our dimensions. So now we will add skybox to the scene as well. So we will go to Windows, lighting, settings, and then we already have created this skybox. So we'll drag and drop this skybox over here, and that's it, our skybox, and the train is now ready. For train, we can add texture on train. We can also create mountains and hilly areas on our train, but in our case we don't need too much heights over here, so because we will create a jungle scene on our train. So first of all, because this train has white color, so we will change the texture of the train, and then in the same video we will add third-person controller and we will add our own character to go through with. So for changing the texture of this train, we will click on this fourth option in train section, fourth option, this one, and then we will add texture by clicking edit texture and then add texture. So we can add new texture here. So for that, we already have some textures in standard assets, and then in environment, and then in train assets, then surface texture. So these textures are available. So if you want some new texture, these are only the images, PNG or JPG you can use. So you can download your favorite texture from Google for ground or for a jungle ground, and then you can implement it into your train. So what we will do, we will use this texture, this grass and rock one, and I will drag this texture over here, and now if we click on OK, this texture will be implemented. So there are certain things which we have to discuss in texture. Whenever we will add new texture, there are some things. For example, this size, x-axis and y-axis size. What is this? Actually, this is the ratio of your image which will be implemented as a texture on your train. So if, for example, we increase this x-axis to 200, for example, you can see the changes on our ground. So if we implement 200, you can see now our the surface becomes have bigger textures. So now in our case, that 15 was fine with us, that 15 size, because it was giving a good result. And when we zoom, we will this ground will look like a naturally ground, so that's fine. After that, there are some smoothness, so you can apply some smoothness on ground also, so you can feel the changes on your ground. You can see some changes. So in our case, we will not apply smoothness, we can apply some metallic effect. So if we increase metallic, it will be like this. See, this will show some more natural look, but we will decrease the metallic to some extent. I think this is fine. So after that we will apply. Now our train is ready. So now the second step, we will add third person controller. So what is third person controller? In the game language, there are two main controllers, the first person and the third person controller. So third person controller is like if you played game like IGI. So IGI have third person and first person controllers as well. So you can see your player, that is called third person controller. And if you see only the guns or the front side of player and not a player itself, then that is first person controller. So in our case, because we are making this runner game, so we need third person controller. So for that there is a standard assets, there are ready-made prefabs over here. So we will click on standard assets, then we will go to characters, and then in third person controller we will move character. We can click here, and then there are available prefabs. Prefabs are built in ready-made assets, so we can use these assets in our game and they are completely ready. So if we drag and drop this third person character on a train, that is available now. So for zooming nearby to this character, we can use F key on our keyboard for focus. So now we are focused on our character. By clicking Alt and then by clicking left mouse, we can rotate our scene like this, and we can see our character more focusedly. And now this is our character. But in our case, we will use our own character as a Jumpoo. So in the same video, I will show you how we will replace our main character with our own character. So if, for example, now we run the game, you can see in the game view is focused on main camera, where our main camera result will be shown in the game view. So now you can see we don't have the result what we want, so we will move back from game view, and then we can delete this camera, main camera, no need of this, and then we can add some new camera. So I will add a new camera with this third person controller by clicking right click and then camera. Now our camera is added with our third person controller. So we will adjust the camera by these nodes like this, and now we can see our character. So if we click on play button now, you can see our character is running and our game character is totally ready to go. Now in the second section of the same video, we will replace this character with our own character. So for this, I already have downloaded one character from asset store named Elf. So unfortunately I didn't added that character here, so no problem. We have that character in another folder. I will bring that character. This is the character. So we will just drag and drop this character folder in our assets, and now our new character will be imported into our project. This character name is Elf, and you can use any type of character from asset store or from other resources as well, but that character should be compatible with Mechanim. Mechanim is an animator library animation library within the Unity, and your character should be compatible with that. Otherwise your character will not move smoothly, and you'll face a lot of troubles. So we have imported our character elf. So elf, the original character name, but in our sense we will use name of Jumpoo now from onward. So we will open this character, sorry, the character monster. This is character elf. So one more, oh, I already have this folder, so I duplicated this folder. I will delete the extra folder, and now we'll click here, and elf character is available here. So with this character there is some scene, we don't need this scene, we can delete this scene. And the prefab, we can see the character prefab is here available. So we will drag and drop this character over here. So now our new character is on our train. So for example, you can see on the right side there is a scale of 1, 1 and 1. There is the standard scaling of this character. So if we increase the scale, our character will be bigger or smaller. So if we click on this default third person controller, you can see the scale is same, 1, 1, 1, but the size are different. So this is not a problem actually, and we don't want to make this character smaller to adjust with this third person. No problem, we will just keep like this, and this is our standard character size which we'll use in our window game. Okay, so now if we run our game, you can see our main character is running, and the elf character stands still out there. So we will add this character. With this step may be difficult for some new students, so you should see this step with concentration. So what we'll do, we will add this this elf character with this third person controller. So for example, first we can adjust this character over here, because why we are adding here, that's also the question, that why we can't be with that position, because this third person, the default one, has some components. For example, if you click here, this third person have animator, it have a rigid body. A rigid body component will be added for physics. So now after that it has capsule collider, and after that there are scripts. For this capsule collider, it is important to place this new character on the same position of this third person controller or character. So we placed this character over here, and then we can add this elf character with this by simply dragging this character over here. So now this elf character is added with this third person default character. So if now we run our game, you can see elf character is also moving with third person controller, but not this is not the thing what we need. So what we will do now, we can just delete this standard character by clicking on this. Actually this character name is Ethan. Okay, so we can delete this Ethan body. First you will select this, these are certain elements of the third person controller. So in third person controller there is an Ethan body, name of character is Ethan, and then Ethan glasses, etc. So we'll delete this Ethan glasses and this Ethan body. So now that's it. Now only we have our main character which we will implement for our game. So we will adjust this character little bit on ground, his foot, that's fine. And now we can adjust this capsule collider. So what we can do, this capsule collider is actually necessary for a rigid body. So you'll know that after some time that why it's necessary. So capsule collider, we can edit capsule collider by clicking here on edit collider, and then we can adjust this capsule collider by clicking there some nodes you can see. So we can modify this capsule collider by our choice. So there will be a node on the top as well, so but it's not seeable. Maybe there's a node, but no problem, this will work for our game. This the same collider will work, no problem. Otherwise we can make this collider bigger from here as well. Y-axis, if we do this, will move up and down as well. So Z-axis and then height of the capsule collider, if we increase this height we'll get the same results what we want. So that's it. Now capsule collider position is fine, I think. Now what we'll do, there is a one step more, that this character has animation. So Unity works with animation as well. So on characters we should apply some animations. So if we see on the top of our character, you can see animator tab, and here there is a controller called third person animator controller. That is fine, but the second field is avatar, and there is selected Ethan avatar. So we will replace this avatar with our own character. So by clicking here, and then we will select elf avatar. So you can see there are a lot of other avatars also available. So we'll replace it with our character. So double click, and now we are ready to move. We will click on play, and you can see our character is running. So that's it for this video. We have successfully implemented our character into our game, and in next video we will add some mobile controls for our game.